Hi, welcome to That's So Nova. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Today we're doing a Halloween. I hope that sounded spooky. My voice is kind of scratchy a little bit because I'm congested. So we're going to be making the COFFIN Raw. I have a hard time with R's and W's together, so yeah, this is a really cute wallet that has shaped as a coffin, and it has a interior zipper pocket. There's a zipper pocket to enter the wallet, and then there's a credit card one on the back. So we are going to make it. There's not a lot of materials that are needed for this project. This is my first time making it, so I'm super excited. So you're going to need a zipper. I'm using a number 5 zipper, and it's about 6.5 inches long. You're going to need some kind of ribbon or whatever you use for your credit card slots. You're going to need about roughly about 36 inches of it, or 38 inches for the credit card slots. I'm sorry, 38 inches. And I'm going to be making a very dainty wrist strap, and I'll show you how I make those. So mine's is 1.5 inches by 14, and that's because I'm going to be using a size 3/4 of an inch. I can't talk today. 3/4 of an inch swivel hook. You're going to need a zipper pull. This has some Morticia Adams. You're going to need something for your to make your D-ring construction. You're going to need a zipper tab, your 2 lining pieces, your exterior front piece, and then your credit card slots. So when you jump into this immediately, she does the credit card slots. So I'm going to roughly show you how it's done, so that way it can be a little bit easier to see. So here is your coffin piece. The first thing I would tell you to do is, this is not in the pattern, but I'm a person that if I can't find my centers, I don't function. So I would find my centers, and I would draw a line. The second thing she asks you is to draw lines to the point. So the coffin points have these 2 areas, and I'm going to draw a line through it. From this point to this point, from the top point to the end point, you draw a line. I'm using red so you guys can see it a little bit clearer, and draw another line. From this, we're going to draw 4 lines that are a 1/2 inch apart, roughly about a 1/2 inch. So there's the 4. Then we found our centers. We're going to make some marks. First, we're going to grab something that can help us with our credit card slots. I'm going to be using this really cool tool that is from Caroline Stitches, and it can help you make really perfect credit card slots. I'm going to find my center here and just draw 2 straight lines up. When you're there, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make some holes. You're going to punch a hole. Let me see if I can find a different marker color. You're going to punch a hole here, 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 and here. Same on the other side. So there's 5 holes down, 5 holes down. From there, then you're going to grab a pair of scissors, or I've seen a lot of people use their seam ripper, which is smart to me because seam rippers are really, really sharp. And you're going to cut a straight line from dot to dot. And when you're done with that, you'll have a piece that looks like this. Now, what I did is I went in and I used a fabric marker, because I'm doing it a horror bag, as you can see, and a fabric marker to draw red inside, so that way when you open up the card slots, it has that nice reflection of something really cool. So we're going to, next she asks you to put a magnet. Before I put a magnet or a cam snap, what I like to do is start with the cards, the card strap. I like to start with I cannot talk today. I like to start with the card slots. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some double-sided tape, and we are going to put our first strip of double-sided tape right underneath the first card slot. So from right underneath the hole to the outside. We're going to remove this and grab our ribbon or whatever you use and put it right underneath. And we're going to stitch the bottom pocket. You can pull your strings to the back. I personally like to bar tack, and there's a reason. I'm really hard. I'll shove like 6 cards in the slot. I'm not gonna lie, fake the funk. I know there's some people that will just do 1 or 2. I can't do that at last. I really wish I could, but I have a lot of, like, you know, like your Costco card, your gas card. Like, there's a lot of cards I have. So from the back, we're going to pull this back. I'm going to take my handy dandy card slot, and I'm going to grab another piece of double-sided tape, and I'm going to bring it to the next line, and I'm just going to put some double-sided tape there. I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to take my card, and I'm just going to put it nice and snug. Remove the card, put it between the lines, finger press, and we're going to now going to sew down the next line. And we're just basically going to repeat this. I'm not fancy with my editing, so you're just going to mosey along with me. Maybe I can ask my daughter Hope. She's really good at editing. But then, you know, comes the, oh, you should know this. I know this. You gotta love teenagers. Okay. And besides, I was so confused when I first did card slots that I wish there was just a video on how to execute it. So maybe this can help somebody that's having a hard time with card slots like I did. Because I was like, hey, I am not getting what they're doing right now. I will put the link to, it's not affiliate, link to this Carolina Stitches. I purchased this at So Magical, and so far with my card slots, I've been using it with it, and I absolutely love it. So we're going to be pushing this towards the line, removing the fake cards. You can, if you don't need this card slot, you can just get a credit card, an old one, or you can get, I'm just trying to make sure they all lay down, a business card and use it as well. And then we're going to stitch on that line. And again, I back stitch 1 or 2 stitches each time. It looks really cool when you pull it all to the back. It looks very clean and very professional. I feel that back stitching also does, because I am really, like I said, I'll be like 6 cards deep into it. You'll be like, Shnova. All right, we're going to keep doing this. And if you want, you could put your double-sided tape all down ahead of time if that helps you. If it doesn't, then don't do it. Do whatever. There's no wrong or right way to do this, so do whatever comes easier to you. And let's see. I'm going to put the card slot here. Matching my card to that line. Removing my card from the double-sided tape. Super fun. I'm using 70 weight thread because I'm on a heavier machine. My other machine has a current project on it. So I decided to go with this, but this is very super domestic friendly. Give that a nice tug down to make sure that it is not buckling. I'm going to put the card, line. I love that the lines are drawn on the back. I've never experienced that with card slots before, and I'm not going to lie, it helped tremendously. All right, so this is the part that, like, I see all different designers come up with different methods. I'm going to explain the method that's in the pattern, and then I will explain what I'm planning on doing. What she has you do in the pattern is to put your card slots where that a little bit above, so that last card slot's there, and to stitch a line of stitching across. If you don't want to do that because you're using like contrasting stitching, what you can do is this. I like to put some double-sided tape on the top, but not where my stitch line is, because everything here is going to be 1/8 of an inch stitching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. I'm going to put where the credit card slot should be about a 1/2 inch up above, and I'm just going to press it there. From here, I'm just going to trim this to be nice and flush, because when I sew up this, then it'll take that into the seam allowance and it'll be sewn down, and you'll be able to still use all the credit cards. I love that everything's nice and functional. And just test it, because you want to make sure that you didn't miss a stitch, and that is this part, which I absolutely think is the cutest thing ever. So next we're going to be putting our tab on. So we're going to grab our tab. My tab, I decided to edge paint with this beautiful green color that glows in the dark, because the material I'm using, I wanted it to have a little spectacular feeling and have it glow in the dark. So it's like some blood spatter. You can get this fabric from Garner Sewing Room, and it's really beautiful. So we're gonna first punch a hole where, depending on if you're gonna be using a cam snap or if you're gonna be using a like a metal magnet like I am, you're gonna punch a hole there. I'm gonna be using a magnet that you could purchase, these pliers at Cam Snap, and they have magnets that have rivets, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to be placing the female portion of the magnet here. So I'm going to take the female portion, and I'm going to put it through the hole that I punched. That is where the magnet's supposed to go. Now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take some of my scrap. This is waterproof canvas, and I'm just going to place it right here, so that way it can have some extra resistance from not getting, not trying to pull through, because these little magnets are very, very strong. And I'm just going to move this on over, and I'm going to push it down, and the magnet always wants to come with it. The press, there you go. So it's all said and done. Then what I do is, from here, I like to put these laying flat. So I like to grab some double-sided tape or something that adheres really well and just place it down so that they all cannot move around. And I don't remove the backing. I just keep this on, and it's not flapping around anymore. All right. So then we're going to then take the slots, and we can sew down going this way. Now, we're going to go sew all the way going down on one side, and we're just going to make sure that we're just right from the beginning all the way till about the end. So you can draw with some chalk pencil where things are going to be lining up to, like I am doing right now. And right like about 1/8 inch away from where the holes are, going to sew down, across, and up. And again, I'm going to back stitch just because, again, I'm hard. So about a 1/2 inch from the first hole, and I'm about a 1/2 inch away from the actual holes themselves. Me really wishing that I used black. But I thought the red will really pop so you can see all the stitches. And I'm about to make a correction, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I'm not removing it from the video. If you're new to my channel, you know that you don't know that I don't I like showing my mistakes. So right here, there's like a stitch that is kind of it's skipped. So what I like to do is I will grab some of the red thread and a needle, a hand sewing needle, and I'm going to just grab some thread real quick, and I'm going to go into that hole that it's had the skip stitch. I'm going to take that area that had the skip stitch and go underneath, find the hole that it's supposed to go above, take it from the behind. That sounds really creepy, but I think you get the gist. And what it's going to do, it's going to pull that thread onto the other side, so that way we have no skip stitch now. And I'm just going to tie it off. And put the needle to the side. I'm going to be using it in a minute anyway, so now it's all correct. All right, so we have it all pocketed up. We have our little snap. Now we are going to take this and we're going to punch a hole in the center, and I prefer to punch it kind of about a 1/2 inch up. These magnets are kind of big. I think they're 18. I'm going to punch it through the hole, and I'm going to put this cap on it. I'm going to take my magnet that is for a mel, and I'm going to rivet it on. I love this rivet. These, they look really professional, and you can have some room, like a wiggle room to mess around things, and they just give it a really nice look. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to grab some double-sided tape. That just disappeared. I don't know, have you guys ever cut double-sided tape and then it just like, boop, it's gone? And you're like, wait a minute. I'm going to place this in the middle. And I'm going to center it as best as I can. And we're going to sew a box. This is why, before you start this project, if you want a really clean edge, you can use cotton. You're just going to be folding for a 1-inch strap a piece of 4. But if you want to have like a different edge, like you could have a point, like a wooden stake would be cool, like a brown with a pointed end, or mine's just kind of rounded off. Then you have that opportunity to do so, and you can, you know, edge paint and give it a different finish. So what we're going to do here is we're going to draw a box. We're going to do it about a box that's, I'll do like a 3/4 of an inch, or you can do a 1/2 inch, and we're just going to go around and sew it down. You can also rivet it in place, but the stitching looks really cool when it's all sewed down. And see how the double-sided tape just holds it in place in lieu of a clip. This is an optional thing. You don't have to have a a strap. I just think it looks cool, and I feel like my cards will be just a little bit more protected. All right, so that part is done. That is super cute. I love this. All right, then we're going to grab our zipper. I found that piece of tape now. That's how it works, right? We are going to be making our 6.5" zipper. If you're using this, if you're using regular tape, then I believe it's a 7 or 7.5. I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to fold it on itself. So I'm going to show you again. What I like to do is I kind of just want this to be flush, nothing sticking out. So I'm just going to fold it. I'm just going to bring this zipper part down and onto it. See how it just wants to stay? I'm going to grab a pin. I know I said pin, not a clip, right? Freaky. All right. Now there's a couple things you could do. You could do the fire trick where you can melt the edges together. I have tried this and I have failed. If you're able to master it, then I'm jealous. You could take this over to your sewing machine and you can just do a couple stitches. You can grab a needle and just hand baste it. I'm just going to quickly do it on my sewing machine. And make sure you don't sew over the needle unless you have those magic needles that you can sew over, which those are pretty cool. I use them when I make garments and when I'm doing quilts. So we sew this down. I trim all loose threads, throw the loose threads in the trash, and then I just kind of singe the ends again because I want to make sure that they stayed sealed. So we have that. We're going to grab our zipper pull. And I'm doing a Morticia Adams to go with the spectacular theme. We're going to place our zipper in. I like to look at my zipper, make sure it's even when in between that bar, because there's a little bar in here, and then I just push it on. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We're going to then now grab a piece for I'm trying to look at this to see if this will fit this way. We're going to grab a piece that we're going to fold over and put on for our zipper tab. I'm using waterproof canvas, and what I like to do is I like to singe my waterproof canvas because it can fray. And I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to fold it onto itself and then use a clip then and take this to the machine and do 1 row of stitching across it. You can use also double-sided tape if you wish. All right, and then I'm going to trim off the excess amount. All right. All right, we got that. So we have a nice little zipper pull. We're at the home stretch. I'm telling you. We're going to now make our zipper, not our zipper, our, I cannot talk today. It is hilarious. We're going to make our D-ring holder so we can make our strap. And I'm just taking double-sided tape and putting it down the center. And I'm folding this in half. I chose not to do a 1-inch ring. I thought a smaller one would be really cute. So I have a 1/2-inch ring. And I'm going to sew down 1/8 of an inch down both sides. I'm going to skip over a couple stitches and go onto the other side and sew that 1/8 of an inch. I'm using waterproof canvas in lieu of my vinyl. My vinyl is marine. Waterproof canvas is stronger than marine vinyl. Marine vinyl still has a stretch, while waterproof canvas doesn't. I'm going to thread this in. And we are going to put this, I'm going to cut down it so it's not that long. We're going to put this on one side. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this on and have about a half inch hanging off and baste that on. If you have a sewing tag, this is a perfect place to put this on too, is on this side. I couldn't find any of my spooky ones, so I'm not putting a tag. I'm kind of sad about that. But you can put your name tag on here as well. So we have that. Then we're going to grab our zipper, and we're going to put this right up to the edge of this part and clip. Okay, and we're going to like stitch this on like using a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, because we're basting it on first. When you get to your zipper pull, make sure you pull it up or out of the way so you don't get that weird curve that likes to happen. And then we're going to trim those threads. We're going to take one of our lining pieces and put it on top and stitch in place with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And you can always like use double-sided tape if you're having a hard time keeping it together. Move that zipper pull so that way you don't get a weird bubble. And then we're going to flip this over. And I like to clip it in a couple places so that way I know this lining won't roll in. And we're going to top stitch using a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. And I like to just do it over the zipper part into the tab. I find the turning looks a little way clean when you do that, and I don't know, it's just my preferred method. And I back stitch 1 or 2 back stitches. All right, and we're going to do the same. We're going to repeat the steps 11 through 13 on the other side. So I'll show you what I mean about double-sided tape. You can take 1/8 of an inch zipper tape just to help you hold it in place. It could be the tearaway type, permanent, whatever's easiest for you, and just press that down and remove it, and then you can line up that area really well, and you can sandwich that in now, and that's sew it together. Make sure you back stitch well at the beginning and the end. And I'm getting close to my zipper, so I'm going to move it out of the way. And we're going to fold this back onto itself. I'm going to take some clips, probably the clips that I just used on the other side. And just pull the lining so it's nice and taut and it matches the exterior. And then we're going to just clip it in place, and we're going to stitch 1/8 of an inch. And again, I only like to sew from zipper tab to zipper tab, but you can go all the way across. It's really your preference. Okay, I'm not regretting the black right now. I'm kind of feeling it. Okay. All right. Then we're going to go to step 14, and we are going to put lining with lining. And I'm going to put a clip where we're going to leave things open so that I don't go past it. And exterior to exterior. So we want to push the zipper tab to go towards the exterior. Okay. All right. So we're going to leave it open right here. We're going to sew. I'm going to use a 1/4 of an inch. Well, 1/8 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch all the way around. That's a seam allowance. We're going to start where we're going to start on one corner, go down, across, down. It's like a heart right now. It's really pretty. And go across. Do the same thing. I'm going to bar tack where that pull is, go all the way down, across, and then up, and leave the birthing hole open. So about 4, like you want this one side to be open so you can birth it. And I'm going to back stitch really well at the beginning and end, because remember, we're birthing it. Just pivot, put the needle down, and if you have one stitch, that's what's really good, to just put the needle down and focus before you position it. Pivot. And again, we want the zipper tab and the zipper to be going towards the inside. So we want the zipper teeth to be going towards the inside. And use a denim needle if you need to, or in a hump jumper. And I'm just going to back stitch over that one, because that's where the zipper teeth is. The teeth part. A hump jumper and a denim needle, the 116 would work really well, because you're going to go over a little bit of bulky places. If you don't have a hump jumper, you can use like your needle pack or anything that can help it stay even. Again, remember, you want everything going towards the exterior when it comes down to the zipper. And back stitch at the end. I'm going to clip it just to get my corners a little bit more sharp. I'm going to kind of go at the angle, not cutting into your stitch lines, just trimming it up so that way it could poke out a little better. I'm just going to remove some of the bulk from that corner. And I just do this because me in corners sometimes, they're my Achilles. They get me every time. So through the birthing hole, we're going to make sure your zipper's open. And just kind of birth it. So you can just push it inside out. It's nice and soft and pliable, because there's not a lot of interfacing, if you have interfacing at all. Because if you did waterproof canvas, then it's just that. So before I use any tools, I like to first go in with my hands and try to poke things out with my fingers as best I can. I'm going to poke things out, pull zipper tabs. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a nice tool that is blunt so it won't poke through, but I can go across the seams. And my tool's just going in. I'm just going to put my lining in and just check. Oh, this is so cute. Hey, where's my lighter? Well, trying to burn these little threads, okay? Alright, I'm going to take my pocket out and close it, but I'm just going to put my tool in one more time just to make sure everything pokes out right. So I'm also going to poke out every corner in my lining too so that it can just fit nice and easy. Because once I close up the lining, it's going to be kind of hard to get the shape. Not impossible, but difficult. Alright. I'm going to take this lining and I'm going to turn it in on itself. Not too much, like about a little scant close to 1/4 of an inch, and put a couple clips. And I just give it a nice little tug and roll the raw edges in towards the bag. And now you can hand stitch this, or you're going to machine stitch it using a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, which I'm going to do. Alright, trim those threads. And if they're like a little extra fuzzy, then I just singe it with the lighter. And then I'm going to put this inside. I'm just going to poke out the corners. Oh my god, this is so cute. It's a little coffin. This is so cute. I love this. And then I do put a little rivet in here if you want. But let's put this aside and I'm going to show you how I make this. My wrist strap real quickly. I'm going to turn this into itself and I'm going to put some double-sided tape. Again, this is 1.5 inches because my hardware is 3/4 of an inch. I wanted it a little bit bigger than the 1/2 inch that I had initially, but not too much. I'm going to fold it so the raw edges touch each other. And again, because it's waterproof canvas, it's not going to fray as much. And I like the way it feels. It feels like really stable. Like if somebody was to pull on it, because the weft and the weave is so tight, it's going to be hard for them to try to get it away. So I'm going to now top stitch, back stitching at the beginning and end, 1/8 of an inch. Up and down. I'm still getting used to this new motor. I really love it though. And then I'm going to do this on the other end. Alright, so I'm going to trim. And then I'm going to singe I'm going to grab my swivel clasp, thread it through, and I'm going to put right sides together and just back stitch. You can use like 1/4 of an inch if you wish. It doesn't have to be a lot. I'm just going to back stitch. Flip the strap out right sides. I'm going to take this and bring this down to that edge that we just sewn and fold it over so it's underneath, and take a couple stitches and go across. You can make a box. I just make a little line, and then I'm just gonna see all these extra threads. I'm gonna melt them away. And now I have a rallet. A coffin rallet. Okay, we're not doing an outtake of this. So you have that. You have your really cool pockets. I love this. This is so cute, so creative. So this I'm gonna put in the thing where you can have your you can get this pattern. It's not expensive. It's under $5. It's fun for Halloween. Fun just period. It's a great wallet. You have really cool card shapes, the whole 9 yards. So if you would like to know more about this pattern, I will put links into the bio. And I hope you are having fun watching the Halloween sew-a-thon. Sew along, not thong. Oh my god, I thank you for watching me. I really do appreciate you. I'll put all the information to the pattern here. If you would like to see more of videos by what products and patterns from the person that I made, then by all means comment down below. Commenting, liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell helps the channel incredibly. So I really appreciate you taking the time and sewing this wallet with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful, spectacular day. Bye.